You look good, you sound good, you smell good. It's top notes of accomplishment, a little bit of winning, heart notes of joy and enthusiasm, bass notes of brilliance, determination, musk. Is there musk? Before I forget, LeBron James called. He says, now that the season's over, he's not around to hate anymore. He's free from all the hate. And you guys can go back to your personal problems. I said, Bron. The class of 2011 is just as free as you are, and unlike you, they finished their finals. Getting older or something, because I don't really want to talk about myself anymore. I've had enough time. I just want to participate in what has always been, and especially is, an amazing night. And then after that, I want to confirm that you are ready for what's next. But first, I owe you guys a poem. All you guys did some poetry out loud, so here's a little poem by Jane Kenyon, called Otherwise. I got out of bed on 2 strong legs. Might have been otherwise. I ate cereal, sweet milk, ripe, flawless peach. It might have been otherwise. I took the dog uphill to the birchwood. All morning long I did the work I love. At noon, I lay down with my mate. It might have been otherwise. We ate dinner together at a table with silver candlesticks. It might have been otherwise. I slept in a bed in a room with paintings on the walls, and I planned a day just like this day. But one day, I know it will be otherwise. That poem resonates with me because I feel those vibrations every day. I'm scared of the otherwise. I enjoy breakfast. I adore my wife, treasure my child, I respect Mr. Jones and the benevolent administration, and I love coaching baseball, being with the improv troupe, coaching basketball, and just being with the senior class every day. Yeah. But very soon it will be otherwise. I speak for the staff when I say we mourn the passing of Mr. Melton, and so we desperately try to teach you how to cherish life, why to cherish life, and we try to protect your lives within our walls with our words. And that poem expresses that, and we love expression. We love to express. We love to talk. Talk and talk and talk and express and lecture and talk, and we love discussions and talk about protons and planets, World War II and tardy policies, blue slips and Shakespeare. I used a calculator. If all your teachers spoke for just half the time, if all your teachers spoke for just half the periods over the last 4 years, and they usually go over that, and they speak at a normal rate, which they usually don't, you have heard over 20 million words since your freshman year. But you seniors take it to a higher, better level. You cherish life like we do, but you're eager to get outside the walls that protected you. You say, Mr. Godsey, I really enjoyed your class. But it's also okay if it's otherwise. You can embrace the otherwise, you can make the otherwise. I don't know what it is. Your animated vitality, your heroic life force, maybe your immature prefrontal cortex, which was developed by age 20. Might be that. But I think it has something to do with reversing the process of all this talking. Instead of effusing all of these words, you harvest them all 20 million of them, at least subconsciously, and then select only your favorites and cook them up in those hot little brains of yours, boiling them down, reducing them, intensifying them into your favorite essentials. And this is how it works with the best perfumes. I looked it up. The scent called The One uses over 2,000 different flowers, and it takes 1 million crocus flowers to get 10 pounds of saffron. 1,200 pounds of 1,200 pounds of jasmine petals produces 2 pounds of jasmine concrete. I love that phrase, jasmine concrete. And I think this is what you do with the words. You boil them down into your own personal concrete. And then you don't talk about your life, you live life when you're ready. And I have faith that you guys are ready. I have faith because of those who've gone before you. In just the last week, a former student came back to tell me that his writing was mentioned in the New Yorker. A former player came back home with a national championship. And another student just told me she's just happy with herself. She's completed herself and she found her soulmate. Your class in particular is quietly powerful. There's a story I heard from Mr. Gomes about your homecoming queen, who doesn't talk much in my class, who jumped almost 20 feet. But after she jumped almost 20 feet and almost won the state title, she didn't say anything. She just looked at her mark. This. You may not know this, but your classmates quietly won the state championship in automotive problem solving. I assigned a project in which I said, just do something with literature, and you quietly but passionately wrote an English textbook, a fashion magazine, a full-length instruction manual, and somebody deconstructed Spencer Lemons. I asked for Waiting for Godot, just a couple of scenes of Waiting for Godot, and the senior class, you guys gave me Waiting for Godot, a play that you wrote yourselves, and actually mocked me instead of Godot. And I was all proud of memorizing a poem, which I didn't even quite memorize, and Madison writes her own poem. Talk about humbling. Your particular class also had the biggest challenge, dealing with death before you were supposed to. You're supposed to read about death. The death of King Hamlet, Prince Hamlet, Ophelia, Yorick, Father Zosimo, Winston, Robbie, Grendel's mom, Cecilia, Marceau, Harold Crick, Gertrude, Claudius, Mrs. Sinico, a random man on a beach, Beowulf, and 40 to 60 million people in World War II. And that's just in my class. I realize in retrospect that I distanced myself from death to superficially protect us. A little bit worried about the otherwise. And I showed a clip of Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. And I realized I was showing a movie about a puppet show within a play about a fictional death. But when Mr. Melton passed away, I think Mr. Jones and Miss Blood deserve credit for their leadership, but I want to talk about you guys. It was the senior class, I remember, demanding an assembly and then harvesting all the flowers they knew, all the words, pictures, memories, and respectfully mourned his death, but also celebrated his life. E.E. Cummings would say that the highest forms of man don't read or write poetry, they are poetry. And I think you became poetry when you made your own jasmine brick. I can teach the same John Donne poem every year, and I do. But when you named Mr. Melton as your teacher of the year, you embodied Donne's poetry. Your class was a poem that sang out, "Death, be not proud, not in our gym. Though some have called ye mighty and dreadful, you are not so, not in our gym." And tonight, after so many thousands of hours of practice, you distilled the best 2 hours of dancing, singing, music, poetry, silk performance, and traditional wushu. Your 2 hours of jasmine concrete, and you offered that energy to each other because you know how to cherish life. And in doing so, you express in youth and vivacity better than any John Donne poem can. Death, why do you swell up in pride? We wake eternally, and death, thou shalt die. And it smells good. It smells like life at its most essential. And I want to take one last whiff. You guys want to take a breath with me? One last one. Breathe in. Yeah. Thank you so much for letting me participate. And now go, graduate, and plan another day just like this day. Thanks.